Let's talk about the perfumes you need to immediately stop wearing and which ones are better alternatives. Hey guys, it's Christina. Welcome back to my channel. We have a lot of perfumes to get through. Let's talk about them. First of all, I do want to say this is just a fun video. Obviously, everybody has different ideas of what a good fragrance is. We all have different noses. So if I mention a perfume that's outdated and you love it, you keep wearing it. But I just want to share with you some niche fragrances that you might not know about. And there's some really popular fragrances out there that I feel like are just, we're kind of over it. It's time to try something new. So if you want to learn about new fragrances, stay tuned. The first fragrance in 2025 that is outdated is this Baccarat Rouge 540. Okay, I know a lot of you are going to be so offended by this. This is a beautiful fragrance. It smells really good. I get the hype, but everybody and their grandmother smells like this. You can smell this everywhere. There are so many dupes out there. I just don't know if it's worth spending the money on these fragrances anymore when you can get similar ones that smell very similar, just because this became so popular. I smell it everywhere and I feel like there's a lot of dupes, which kind of turns me off to the fragrance. Instead of Baccarat, I love Gold Fluidity by the same brand, MFK. This is beautiful. It has a little bit of like jasmine in the opening, and the dry down has this like vanilla sandalwood base to it. This is one of the most stunning fragrances I have ever smelled. I absolutely love this one. I feel like if you like Baccarat, you're going to like this one, and it's not as popular. I don't smell it everywhere, and I think that this is the best fragrance that this house makes. A fragrance that we need to get rid of in 2025 is YSL's Black Opium. This is just so outplayed. Again, like Baccarat, it's everywhere. Everybody's worn it. I personally don't like the scent. It's too intense for me, like too mature. I'm not a fan of it to begin with, but I just think it is overplayed. Instead, let's talk about YSL Babycat. I have a little perfume sample, and you guys, wow. This is definitely a unisex fragrance. It is definitely intense, very vanilla, but it has a smokiness to it, and it's a very sexy perfume. This is from their private label line. It's very hard to get your hands on these. I do think that Neiman Marcus and Nordstrom are now selling the private lines from YSL, so I'll link what I can find. But I highly recommend trying out YSL's private line. Not only do they have Babycat, but they have one called Jumpsuit and a couple other ones that are supposed to be amazing. I haven't tried those yet, but YSL Babycat is a great one. If you like vanilla and smokiness and a little bit of a unisex smell, then this one is for you. I do love when designer brands have private lines. I think that those are way better than the mass-produced ones that they put out at Sephora, and I really recommend trying them if you can. FYI, samples are a great way to try different perfumes. So if I'm able to find samples of each perfume I'm talking about, I'll leave it in my description box. I personally like shopping at Twisted Lily for samples, and I do sell my own samples from my personal perfume collection on Etsy. So if you are interested in that, I'll link that too. Carolina Herrera, the entire line, outdated for 2025. We're kind of over her. She had her moment, and I think we're moving past it. I really liked this perfume last year, but because I've gotten so into perfume, I'm leaning less more towards these mass-produced perfumes, and I really like niche fragrance houses. I just feel like everybody wears Carolina Herrera, whether it's this one, the red shoe, the black shoe, all the different shoes. I'm just like kind of over it. Instead, I would recommend Perfumes de Marly Delina. If you like Carolina Herrera's blush, you're gonna love Delina. This is just better in my opinion. This is the most beautiful scent ever. This is what got me into niche fragrances. I bought these at Nordstrom during the Nordstrom anniversary sale, and I have never looked back. I've gone down a rabbit hole learning about perfume, and Delina is just like the gateway drug to niche designer fragrances. So basically, if you don't know the difference, a niche brand is just a brand that specifically only makes perfume. They don't mass produce it and put it out in stores, and they don't sell other things. So like, for example, Burberry sews clothes and they sell perfume. They're considered a designer fragrance house, but they're not niche. Perfumes de Marly is niche. Now, there's nothing wrong with a mass-produced perfume. Obviously, they can still smell good, but what happens is when it's overly mass-produced, it tends to hit a lot of stores, it hits discount stores, it kind of just infiltrates and then everybody starts smelling the same. So what I like about niche is less people know about it and you're not gonna smell like everybody else. Highly recommend Delina. There's also Delina Exklusiv. Delina Exklusiv is a little more gourmand. It's a little bit bolder and stronger, but they do smell similar. Okay, the next fragrance I'm saying a no to this year is Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. Now, Tom Ford is very expensive, and I love me some Tom Ford, okay? Tom Ford as a person, he is an Austin boy. We love him down here. I love Tom Ford. I love what he did with Gucci. I love what he did with his brand. I really like him, but his perfumes, I can't, okay? They're so expensive and they do not last. So if I'm gonna spend $400 on a fragrance, it needs to blow me away. It needs to project, it needs to last, and Tom Ford fragrances just miss the mark. So if you like a cherry scent, instead of Lost Cherry, I think you should try this one. This is Fragrance du Bois, and the scent is called Sirene. It actually came out last year. This is a niche fragrance house. And this is very cherry, but it has like oud in it. And I know not everybody loves oud, but this is a very well blended oud and it's very cherry. It lasts all day. It's very strong. This can be unisex. It's a little sweeter. I think this smells better than Lost Cherry and it lasts a lot longer and it projects a lot better than Lost Cherry. And look at this bottle. It is absolutely stunning. Another popular fragrance by Tom Ford is Tobacco Vanilla, and we are getting rid of this in 2025. I feel like this is outdated. I don't love it. I don't love the scent, first of all. It's a little too smoky for me, but again, I just can't recommend Tom Ford fragrances. Love Tom Ford, don't like the fragrances. Unfortunately, I just don't think they're worth the money. But what is worth the money, if you want a really good vanilla perfume, that is the creme de la creme. You have to try Guerlain. Anything by Guerlain is literally the creme de la creme. These perfumes are so beautifully well blended. They project like crazy and they last 12 hours. So this one is Cuir Beluga, and this is a beautiful, beautiful vanilla, but it has some depth to it, some smokiness to it. It is way better, in my opinion, than any Tom Ford vanilla fragrance. And these are very expensive, just like Tom Ford, but these are actually worth your money. It has to be from the art line by Guerlain, not like their other line. It's the bottles that look like this. Anything from this line by Guerlain is incredible. Marc Jacobs Daisy, we need to leave her in the past, okay? I know a lot of people still buy it. You can find them at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, every discount store. I feel like I've smelled it a million times. But if you like a floral freshie, then you should try the brand Liis instead. This is a newer brand and they make really good floral freshies. I personally like Floating the best. This is the one I have a full bottle of. It has like an opening of grapefruit and I just really like how this smells. It's like a clean girl scent, but it has fruit in it. However, they have a bunch of other ones and they have a discovery set and I highly recommend discovery sets. So I'll show you what it looks like. Ooh, one of them just fell, but it comes in a pack of 5. And you can try their most popular scents. And I did that, and the floating one was my favorite, so I bought a full bottle. But the other ones are really good too. I like Studied. A lot of people like Beau. Lucien is really good. A lot of them are really good. If you like Marc Jacobs Daisy, I would say you would like this brand because it's light and it's fresh and it's floral, kind of like Marc Jacobs, but in my opinion, these are better. Chanel No. 5, she has to go. I'm just so done with her. Literally anyone who smells like Chanel No. 5, you know exactly what they smell like. This is such a recognizable smell. To me, it also gives a little bit of old lady smell and I don't love it. Honestly, I'm kind of over the whole Chanel fragrance line in general, just like their mass-produced fragrances like Coco Chanel, Chanel Mademoiselle, all of those, totally done. But Chanel No. 5 specifically, I feel like she needs to go. What I recommend instead is Mizensir For Your Love. This brand makes some of the most beautiful fragrances I've ever smelled. Trescherie is my personal favorite. but I recommend For Your Love if you like Chanel fragrances, because it has a little bit of the same DNA to me as Chanel No. 5. It has a little bit of that mature smell to it, but this to me smells a little bit cleaner, a little bit more well blended, not as like powdery and as in your face as Chanel No. 5. And this just smells like pure luxury. This is one of the most luxurious niche brands, I think, on the market, where you smell like money. Mugler Angel needs to go in 2025. I am not a fan of this fragrance in general. I feel like this fragrance is just toxic. Like, it just makes me want to gag. Like, it is so intense. It is so heavy. I do not like it. And if you like it, keep wearing it. But I just feel like there are better fragrances out there. And I would recommend Oriana by Perfumes de Marly instead. This has like that sweetness kind of like Angel does, but I think this is way more well blended. This is way more attractive than Angel. And I just think that this one is so good. It smells like marshmallow lychee deliciousness. And this one is so slept on. I love this fragrance, and it is not their most popular fragrance. Delina definitely is. And I think Oriana is amazing. If you're still wearing Dolce & Gabbana light blue, it's time for an upgrade in 2025. She's a classic, but she is a little outdated. Instead, I would try MFK's Aqua. This has that same like citrus floral scent as Dolce & Gabbana light blue, but more sophisticated. Anything by MFK is sophisticated. That's why Baccarat went so viral, because it is an amazing niche perfume company. And I think though that there are other scents out there besides Baccarat you should try. And if you like light blue, you're gonna like Aqua. She's a blast from the past, but I know people still love her. It is Viktor and Rolf Flower Bomb. Let me tell you, like 7 years ago, this perfume had me in a chokehold. I still have it. I have not used it in years. It definitely brings back memories when I smell it. I just don't think this is the vibe anymore. It's just too punchy for 2025. It's too in your face. Instead, I would recommend Kilian Love Don't Be Shy. I love this one. It has that sweetness like Viktor and Rolf Flower Bomb. It has like the floralness a little bit, but it has marshmallows in it. It has orange blossom, so you're still getting a lot of that floral fruitiness. But I think this is more sophisticated. It's not as loud as Flower Bomb. And what I love about Kilian is their bottles are refillable. And to me, that is a huge plus. I hope more brands continue to do that. I love when perfumes are refillable, and Kilian is refillable. I know Louis Vuitton is also refillable, and now I've been able to see some Burberry ones. So that is always, in my opinion, a step in the right direction. It's annoying to buy these perfumes, then have to throw them away and get a whole new one. You can save money by buying refills. So I think that's great. If you're a perfume girly, you need to go check out this video next, where I share with you viral perfumes that you need to know about. A lot of them I didn't even mention in this video. So go over there so you can find some new ones to learn about, and I'll see you in that video. Bye.